Hey parents, you are worried that your child is holding any kind of inanimate object, items, blanket, soft toys for the longer duration of time, or they are engrossed in holding to that extent that it is not socially acceptable or disturbing their daily routines. Then today I'm going to explain you the reason for it so that you are able to understand what your child is going through. So, dear friends, holding the objects, specifically in kids with autism, it gives the sense of security to them because these kids doesn't like the changes or change in routine and plans, or it is very difficult to explain them the transition. So these kids, they develop the coping mechanism to avoid or to cope up with the changes in their plans and routines through the use of similar kind of object. Now, this holding the objects in their hand or taking the same kind of blanket, sometimes magnetic letters or dolls, vehicles, alphabet, numbers in their hands, they give them the sense of security and to get adjusted into the new situation or in the overwhelmed environment. Dear friends, these objects are called as transitional objects. And holding these objects while they are moving out or while they are going into the change in the changing environment or changing situation is not the bad choice. Having the familiar object always with them helps to prevent the meltdowns. This can thus help your child to participate in social interaction groups, to participate in classroom activities, to participate or helps to accept the changes with the consistent behavior. It actually works as a coping mechanism in discomfort or different situation. Holding of the object actually gives the tactile inputs to your child. Apart from the tactile input, it gives the calmness and the sense of security that the child feels with the same consistent object everywhere, maybe at home or in different social situations or in the classroom or going to the park. Apart from tactile holding, tactile stimulation, I have seen many times that parent gave me the feedback that they have used particular kind of scent while the child is on the bed, which helps the child again to cope up from the sleeping disturbances and the child slept well. In the same way, there are various kind of consistent auditory stimulation in the form of music, maybe a soothing music or any kind of instrumental music used by parents in order to calm down their child. So, holding of the objects or use of consistent same similar kind of scent or similar kind of music, all these kind of familiar textures, familiar smell or familiar music help your child to feel secure whenever they are in the changing or transitional environment. So I advise to the parents that rather than thinking it to be socially unacceptable behavior or a disturbing behavior, you have to delicately, slowly wave off this behavior of holding of the objects from your child, because sometimes retained primitive reflexes also responsible for insecurity, for example fear paralysis, morose reflexes, and thus the child, to cope up from these retained reflexes, try to always be with any kind of the object in the hands or with them, and thus they feel secure in the various different environment. So what we can do, or how we can, if the parent wants to remove this habit of holding up the objects, I would recommend that your occupational therapist should work on various kind of retained primitive reflexes. We can work on the tactile sensory issues, if any. We can even work on the postural reflexes in the background, and apart from that, slowly we can give some kind of positive reinforcement, or we can take the help from the behavior therapist also to wean off this behavior slowly and slowly, rather than thinking to remove this behavior by giving punishment or snatching the object at a go. Rather than improving, this will worsen the situation for your child with autism. So I hope now you all are able to understand that holding the object in autism is basically giving your child a coping mechanism, a sense of security because of underlying cause, and thus your child is better able to be in different social situation, in classroom or in various different transitional environment. So, if you like this video, then don't go anywhere before pressing the like or subscribe button. And if any query is there, most welcome in the comment box. Thank you so much.